Hey guys, a little different view for you. We're starting back on the K.O. Lee Universal Tool Cutter Grinder. When I first got this thing, I was spending 16-17 hours a day cleaning it, this and that. I would take the table off and end up taking the apron off, and I've pretty much had it broke down all the way. I got the powered work head, motorized work head. I got it all taken apart in the other room. Giant learning curve on this machine, even for someone who knows what they're doing. And I definitely do not know what I'm doing, even when it comes to running the lathe. I mean, I can run this little red thing, but if I get a real lathe, who knows what's going to happen. But anyway, I'm going to get back on this. It needs some electrical work. There's 4 motor starters in this electrical box. I only need 2. I want to get the spindle and the coolant pump. The other one is the work head, which we'll come back to that. And the other one is a collector, which is probably a vacuum system. There is an outlet over here off the transformer for a magnetic chuck, which doesn't really matter because I don't have one. The powered work head I have, let's go back to the spindle and the coolant pump. Both those motors can be wired for low voltage. There's like 9 wires underneath the pecker head, and there's a diagram showing, you know, what wires are matched with what to acquire low voltage and high voltage. Well, the motorized work head, it only has 4 wires. There's 3 wires coming off the motor labeled 1, 2, and 3, and then there's an earth wire obviously coming off the motor as well. So that's telling me that that motor is a 440 high voltage motor only. Now hopefully what that means is it can go either way, low or high voltage, which would be nice. But I'm going to wire the spindle and the coolant pump motors for low voltage. Then the next thing to do inside the electrical box, there's a transformer that needs to be wired for low voltage, and that's a matter of moving some jumper wires. And I don't pretend to know how to do that. I'm going to get down there and read it and look at it and see if I can't figure it out. Usually that kind of stuff is laid out for you pretty plain English or in plain language anyway. There's also breakers in there that probably going to need to be changed, and there's something I believe called heaters, which looks like kind of a fuse. It just looks like a piece of ceramic with a wire filament running through it. And I'm not sure if it would hurt to leave the 480 fuses on, running 240, burn something up in the meantime, but that stuff's all inconsequential. It's probably cheap. I'd like to have this thing, this is the 29th of October. I'd like to have this spindle turning before the end of the week, or make it the 6th or so, the 7th. The guards are off that wheel. We don't need to look at the machine quite right now. But that's what I'm going to be doing in the next few videos, and in a few minutes I'll bring you around and show you what I have, so that you might tell me in the comments what I don't have. Because I literally, I mean, I can't picture in my mind what I need, because I don't know what I need. I imagine, you know, there's something I can hook up to this, and this thing, you know, I got all kinds of rotation, I got graduations, I got flexibility, I got X and Y, I got the moving wheel, so, you know, there's got to be a way to, you know, to manipulate this thing with a tool on it towards that wheel and make some kind of marks on steel. You know, that's what I want to do. Mark up some steel, scratch it. I don't need to know how to do everything this machine can do. So, I have the powered workhead. I have this, which is, it's a Radial working, Radial work. I guess I should have done my homework a little bit before I started this up. But it's radial grinding fixture. Yeah, it's just a radial grinding fixture. And, you know, I can see some pictures and stuff, but, you know, a lot of these machines I'm seeing have two dead centers. And I'm not seeing that with the stuff that I got with this machine, which was nothing. The guy at the auction, you know, come running after me. Well, he didn't run after me, but he did bring this out to me, and without this, you know, I probably would have really been in bad shape. You know, I looked on eBay and whatnot, and anything that mounts to this table or mounts to this thing, you know, the prices are starting at $300, $250. I did see a set of centers on auction. It went for a fair price. But you can't always get to the auction if they're not going to ship it to you. Yeah. Now, a friend of mine looked at this today, and I think the first thing he said was Brown and Sharp. And I said, well, K.O. Lee. And he says, well, they kind of been copying each other. So it's possible, and someone might let me know, that Brown and Sharp fixtures might work on this table as well, or anybody else's fixtures. What I would really would like to have is probably the simplest fixture you could get for this machine, and it's just a universal work holding fixture, and it's basically just an arm that would hook up to this and come out here, and 4 Allen head screw, cap head screws, and you stick your work in there and clamp it down, and you know, run the thing across it, and maybe if I could show you a picture of it. I have somebody, you know, willing to you know, give me collets for this, but I wouldn't know where to put one at. Let me show you the fixture that I would probably most like to have. Tailstocks is one for sure. With this one right here. You see, I could figure out how to grind something with that fixture. Good God. Could use some tailstocks, sure. No, this is no longer available. It's a tilting table. Would be a nice, would be another thing that I could figure out to use almost on my own. Okay. We've got independent 4-jaw chucks. We got adjustable 6-jaw chucks with a 5C taper. I don't know if that's a 5C or if they call that something different. I know one of the tool companies has their own taper, but let's see what this says it has. Yeah, it has a Brown and Sharp tapered arbor. So I guess a Brown and Sharp tapered arbor. Maybe that's close enough to maybe that's what I have. I doubt it since it's on a KOV machine. But I seem to have a Morris taper number 5 here. Well, how do I know that? I really don't. And the first grinding job I'll have is to clean up these points on this and the tailstock. I'm going to go through all these things that I do have piece by piece with you, and maybe you can get back with me. Okay, well, this is what I got. I got a mess on the floor. We'll just let that go for now. Let it go. Let it go. You got this tailstock, which has a call it a quick release, maybe, or not even sure if that's in the frame. Yeah, sure it is. Okay, this is MT5. I'm told it could be a Brown and Sharp taper. It goes to the motorized work head, which hopefully I'm going to be able to operate on this machine. And here I have a radial grinding fixture. I had to pick this stuff up because I think that's where I'm going to find the name of that item there. Pretty sure it's a radial grinding fixture. And, you know, my buddy, who didn't have a lot of time to go over things with me, said I'm going to be able to do anything I want with this. Of course, I'm going to need something to mount here to make contact with the wheel. Okay. And then I have this, I guess, is for sharpening cupped wheels. It's a diamond nib in there. Nub or nib. I got the guard for the wheel. I got the coolant nozzle. I have an electrical hookup coming off the transformer to operate a magnetic chuck. So let's see what else I have here. I have a light. And this was dated, where was this dated? This was added to the machine maybe in 1999, or maybe this was made in 1999 in Fostoria, Ohio. But, you know, it's just an articulating incandescent light fixture. Pretty cool, old school stuff. I'm thinking the machine is late 60s. Yeah, that's right. I saw some stuff in the electrical cabinet that led me to that. So that's everything I have other than the motorized work head. And like I said, the pecker head for that, there's only 4 wires in there. Here's my housing with a spindle. And here's the motor. There's no tag on that motor. There's no identifying nothing at all. No information at all on there. Now this is the base, and it has the model number, and it is B9092M. B9092M. And that is the model for the motorized work head. And I may just end up, I don't know, the dead center or live center. Imagine if this is spinning, it would be a live center, but the live center mounts in this spindle right here. It's brown and sharp. So if I set all this up without the motor, I would at least have a free turning spindle with a center. So, question, is this supposed to be full of oil? I think it is. I think that's what this knob up here is for. Release that, oil it up, close it up. Probably do it daily. Don't know that. This is the little box coming up the transformer. It's all upside down here, but this is power transformer, Acme Electric Corporation, and I'm told this is single phase 12240, secondary volts, primary volts 240 times 480. I'm told this is to power a magnetic chuck, and that's what the socket looks like. Okay. I'm not going to take you into too much in depth to the cabinet too much. There's 4 starters in there, like I mentioned. We only need 2. Hopefully I'll be able to figure out how to jump that transformer, make it low voltage. I think that's going to be it for today's video. I'm excited to get back on the cutter grinder. There's nothing I would like more than to be able to stand behind the controls of this machine and make something happen. You know, just if I could just make some sparks, I would be thrilled. And I got all kinds of crap I can spark. All kinds of hardened steel and everything a machinist kept in his toolbox that he never wanted to throw away. Ground and hardened cylindrical items and whatnot. I don't know what the stuff is. I just watch people do stuff and try to imitate them. I'm picking up a little bit of the knowledge base, but okay. Thank you all for subscribing. Might be at 400 subscribers by the time this video is viewed. I'm at 398, and I just can't believe that. It's exciting to me. It's part of the fun to watch that number grow. All right, that's all we got. Okay, let me give you a little update of what I've been up to. Number one, I wired the transformer for low voltage. It had one jumper before jumping number 2 and number 3 together. So for low voltage, you need to jump 1 and 3, 2 and 4, as you see there, I've done. Okay, main power comes in this black wire. Okay, 3 wires go to this switch, 3 wires come out. This is the starter for the spindle, the main spindle. This is the starter for the powered working head, the working power head, whatever it is. This is for what they're calling the collector. And I believe the output wires for this used to go out this hole here, and they've eliminated the use of that. And then this one down here is for the coolant pump. The only thing I'm interested in getting connected is the main spindle. I'm not going to fill up that coolant pump full of coolant to sharpen a drill bit. You know, if I'm going to do anything that takes 5 minutes or longer, I'll get a cool mist or some type of portable coolant arrangement. And in lieu of a collector, I'll have a vacuum cleaner. So I'm going to investigate where the output wires should be on this, and if they are missing, and they did used to go out to this hole, there are 2 wires coming from this switch, 2 legs going out here, which go to another transformer here, which I am told is for a magnetic chuck. And that is what the plug looks like. I got that taped up because I was getting everything wet. But there's a transformer underneath there. I'm not sure if you saw that. So, here's a breaker, here's a breaker, and here's a breaker for high voltage. Now, if we were going from low voltage to high voltage, I would say it would be mandatory to change these out. But I think if we're just going from high voltage to low voltage, that these might suffice just for a motor test. So maybe I'll wait for the comments to come in before I get nuts. So let's follow these wires here. There's 3 hot wires, 3 fuses. Let's follow it out of the machine. And by the way, this is the plug for the powered workhead. And it goes to here. So let's go back to these 3 wires. They come out of the machine here. They go under the machine. You pick it up there. It comes over to this panel. Comes in the bottom there. 3 fuses out the top. And then it goes around here. And that's just a plug, just an extension cord, and then it goes into the 3-phase converter, which is really coming out of the 3-phase converter. Going into the 3-phase converter is my household 220, which goes up to that socket, which normally would run my heater, but today is going to run the phase converter. And that sounds all good to me. I do have another 220 outlet here, but that's for my welder. So let's go backwards. We got 220 household going into the 3-phase converter, coming out 3 phases here, around here to this fuse box, 3-phase fuse box, through here, into the machine, to this switch, and then to the starter for the main spindle, which would be here, forward, reverse. Okay, you think I'm crazy? Okay, we'll see whether I try to do this without waiting for your comments or not.